Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast today. Black Professionals Association Charitable Foundation hosts its annual gala later this month to honor the 2011 Black Professional of the Year here in Cleveland, President Natoya Walker Minor, and the 2011 Black Professional of the Year himself, Randell McShepard, is here as well. They're going to talk about this event coming up. Then Heidi Barham of Hospice of the Western Reserve will tell us about the annual Voices for Hospice event. And later in the broadcast, Teresa Tucker and Tammy Swales of the East Cleveland Theater will tell us what to expect during the upcoming theater season in East Cleveland. Good morning again. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin. Beginning with two great people here. Sitting next to me is Natoya J. Walker Minor, and she's president of the Black Professionals Charitable Foundation. And next to her is Randell McShepard, who's this year's recipient, the 2011 Black Professional of the Year. Good to have you both on the broadcast.
Good morning.
Nice to hear.
Natoya, let's begin with you before we get to the man of the hour here. Talk about the mission of the Black Professionals Association Charitable Foundation.
The Black Professionals Association Charitable Foundation, our mission really is to make sure that inner city young people have the opportunity to go to college. We provide scholarships, and we would like them to get ongoing development so that they are prepared and equipped once they come out of college to enter into the work world.
And one of the things you do is you have a fundraiser every year to raise money to do the mission of this organization.
To do the mission, to do the work.
Yeah.
Annually, since the Black Professionals Association was created, more than 31 years ago, we've held a Black Tie Gala. And this year, we're fortunate enough to have Randell McShepard, a dear friend and high school friend of mine, who is our Black Professional of the Year. He was selected because of all of his contributions that he does for our community, civic, corporate, nonprofit. This is a young man that is engaged and really contributing to our community.
He certainly is. I've known him for many, many years. We're fraternity brothers. We get together, had dinner together last night.
Yes, we did.
Had a wonderful time, didn't
yes, we did. Yes.
Randell, tell me, this has got to be heady stuff to be named the BPA Professional of the Year.
This is the stuff you dream about, Leon. I mean, I'm so overwhelmed, so excited, so proud. You know, I'm walking around home standing a little taller. It's just been great. It's great for my employer, RPM International, that has been so wonderful and supportive of my career. It's great to partner up with my old high school classmate and longtime friend Natoya and the entire committee. That's been so wonderful. Just very exciting.
Tell me what you do out at RPM. What's your position out there?
Sure. My position is Vice President of Public Affairs, which entails really three major areas of responsibility. Government affairs at the federal, state, and local levels. I manage the corporate philanthropy program, and then I also manage corporate purchasing initiatives. About $50 million of those I'm responsible for.
Well, they're going to talk a lot about that on the evening of October the 22nd. That's a Saturday evening. October the 22nd at the Renaissance Cleveland Hotel at Public Square, downtown Cleveland. I'm going to be the master of ceremonies, and thank you so much for the opportunity to do that. So
we're excited.
Share the stage once again. But tell us what goes through your mind. Why is it important to honor men like Randell McShepard, and women have won this award as well over the years?
Sure. Actually, Randell is our 29th Black Professional of the Year, and it is critical that we honor Black men and women who contribute in this community. This organization was established at a time when many African Americans were first in their professions, and I think that it is critical even today to inspire young people to honor a man or woman who is doing wonderful work in the city of Cleveland, someone like Randell who continues to contribute even though his star continues to rise in terms of his career. I mean, his career has propelled so far, but he has not forgotten where he's come from and the people that are in the communities where we were raised. And I think that that is critically important, especially as Black men, young and young women, Latinos, even Caucasians are looking at themselves, if they're Cleveland Public School students, to say to them, yes, you too can make it because I am a Cleveland Public School graduate.
Speak to that a little bit, my friend, Randell McShepard.
Well, I thought Natoya hit it quite well.
Your philosophy on that.
Yes, I think, as the old saying goes, if you can see it, you can believe it, and if you can believe it, you can achieve it. And far too many young people in our city don't see men, in this case, that wear a shirt and tie to work every day, or that get up and go to work in a major corporation every day. I've had young people tell me, stop me on the street to say, what do you do? And oftentimes they think that maybe you're a pastor, or because that's the only person in the tie that they've seen. So when you start to explain, no, I work for a publicly traded major corporation, it's you see the light bulb go off. So it's I think it's just critically important to show that it is possible. I grew up in a single-parent household, graduated from the Cleveland schools. Many would say that that's recipe for disaster. Obviously, I beg to differ. Natoya is another example, and there's thousands and thousands of others from our district, including yourself.
Yes. Many of us come from Cleveland Public School.
That have done extremely well. So I just think I'm humbled and honored, but I think I'm proud of the fact that I can maybe serve as an example of what others can do.
Well, I can tell you this young man is quite a remarkable young man. Randell and I have been fraternity members together, fraternity brothers in 2 different fraternities for a long time, Alpha Phi Alpha and Sigma Pi Phi fraternity. We belong to both of those, and we get together periodically, but he is a quality man, and it's always good to share the program with you, Randell. Our tickets still available for this event on Saturday, October the 22nd. It's a black tie event. Our tickets still available.
Tickets are still available. They can call our office at area code 216. Oops. I forgot the number.
I've got the number.
216-229-7110. Can we do that part over?
Oh, I've got the number right there. The number's right on the screen there. That's why I have these notes in front of me.
Sorry.
See that?
Sorry, did I mess us up?
No.
Okay. Sorry.
229-7110. I've got the number. When
it's on the screen. It's on the screen.
It's on the screen through the magic of the controls. Thank you.
The beauty of technology.
Oh my God, I'm hot now.
You're okay. October the 22nd, it's going to be at the Cleveland Renaissance Hotel in Public Square. Randell McShepard. It's the 31st annual Scholarship and Awards Gala. And we've given out this award so many times to all qualified people for the last 30-some years, 31 years. Well, good to have you on the broadcast. And we will see you Saturday, October the 22nd. Tickets still available, right?
Tickets are still available, and it is black tie. We've returned to our signature black tie, so we're excited to see men and women come in evening wear.
Oh, it's wonderful, wonderful. We'll have a good time at the Black Professional Association Charitable Foundation's big gala. Randell McShepard, who's the Vice President in Public Affairs of RPM International. He's the recipient this year. Good to have you both on the broadcast.
Thank you for having us.
We're going to take a break. This is Kaleidoscope. Back after these words, especially for you. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope. Good to have you with us today. The Hospice of the Western Reserve hosts its annual Voices for Hospice community event on October the 8th. And its spiritual care coordinator, Heidi Barham, is here to talk more about the event. It's aimed at increasing awareness about the end-of-life care, specifically in the African-American community. But I think this affects just about everybody because all of us reach the end of life at some point, don't we, Heidi?
Yes, we do.
Good to have you with us. Heidi Barham, spiritual care coordinator for Hospice of the Western Reserve. Tell us, what is Hospice of the Western Reserve?
Well, Hospice of the Western Reserve is a nonprofit organization here that serves Northern Ohio. We have 11 locations throughout the northern part of the state, but our goal is to provide quality end-of-life care for patients and their families that allows them dignity and choice when it comes to end-of-life circumstances, and to provide them with comfort.
Comfort at the end of life, when they know that the end is coming. This is to provide comfort for that patient, for that
patient
person.
And the family.
And the family.
And the family.
And I've been there before, and we will talk a little bit about that, I'm certain, before the next few minutes is over with. And what is Voices for Hospice?
Well, Voices for Hospice is part of World Hospice and Palliative Care Day. It's the second Saturday in October, and events are taking place around the world in order to increase the visibility of hospice care and hospice and palliative care, in specific, so that this is our opportunity to raise the awareness, especially within the African-American community, because we've been traditionally underserved and we don't take advantage of hospice care.
You used a term just a little bit ago that may need some definition, palliative care.
To better define, palliative care is to help palliate symptoms when patients are undergoing treatment for life-limiting illness, let's say cancer, and we all know that chemo and radiation therapy can often cause side effects. So our palliative care area allows us to help them manage those symptoms. Or if it's a renal patient who's on dialysis, there's also sometimes side effects that come about from that, or pain management issues.
Yeah. Saturday, October the 8th, you're having a big event at the Cleveland, Marriott Cleveland East. That's at Richmond Road and Harvard in Warrensville Heights. We got a graphic right on the screen now. Tell us why you're doing this event and what happens at this event, which starts at 11:30 in the morning.
Well, it's a free community event. It includes a lunch, and we will have health screenings there, free health screenings. We will also have information tables set up, and we will also have a panel discussion. It's called Conversation Starters. Talking about it is the first step. And often as our families first hear that word hospice, a doctor may approach them about it, or the nurse or someone says it's time to call hospice. It's a very difficult conversation for that family to have. And so we want to kind of dispel some of that stigma to the word hospice and dispel some of the myths.
You're reaching out specifically, in many instances, to the African-American community. Why is it that the African-American community needs to be reached out to so specifically?
Well, often within the African-American community, there's a mistrust of the healthcare system, and they don't realize that hospice care is provided to anyone regardless of age, race, gender, or even ability to pay. And it's just a level of care, but for many years people heard the word hospice and they assumed it was a death sentence. And so we have traditionally pulled back from being open to receiving hospice care. We look at our faith and we trust that, well, we'll just pray about it and God will make us all better. We don't want to do anything that would seem to indicate we've given up hope. But hospice is not giving up hope. Hospice is allowing you to have comfort and dignity at choice when it comes to the end of life.
There's a phone number we've got on the screen of 216-486-6645. More information on everything we're talking about. Or you can go to hospicewr.org/voices for more information on everything we've been talking about. Hospice WR, that means Western Reserve.org. Get more information. In June of 2011, not long ago, my mother passed here in Cleveland, and she was under hospice care. We brought in the hospice nurses, and they did a wonderful, and absolutely marvelous job helping my mother through the transition as she passed away in June, and helping the family as well. And we still seek that hospice care. So I cannot speak too highly of hospice, what it has done for me and what it's done for our family at the end of life. That's the kind of thing you're trying to get around to people, that this is really a very comforting thing, not only for the patient who is dying, but the family which continues to live.
And we look at family as however that patient chooses to define family. For many, they may not have children, they may not have a spouse, but it may be a trusted neighbor or friend. We treat the patient and the family as an entire unit because we don't want anyone to die alone or in pain. And so our goal is to be there in whatever ways we can to help that family, to help that patient, to recognize that death is not something to be afraid of. As you said, it's something that we all have to face at some point in life.
And this hospice care can come to the home, can come wherever. They don't have to go to a specific facility. They can remain where they were.
Exactly.
And be under hospice care with attending nurses.
Hospice is not a place. Hospice is a philosophy of care. And we bring that care wherever the patient is, in their house, in an assisted living, a nursing home. We even have a liaison team that goes out to hospitals.
October the 8th, beginning at 11:30 in the morning, runs until 2 o'clock in the afternoon. October the 8th at 11:30 at the Marriott Cleveland East, Richmond Road and Harvard Road in Warrensville Heights. You see the graphic right on the screen. There's going to have a big event there called the Voices for Hospice. Many thanks, Heidi. Good to see you.
Good to see you,
Heidi
too,
and I have known each other for many, many years and know her mother very well. Good to see you, Heidi.
Good to see you, too, Leon.
Take care, my friend. And thank everybody at Hospice for really touching my heart as well.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm going to take a break. I'll be right back with more on Kaleidoscope. We're going to talk about the East Cleveland Theater. Save a seat on the aisle for me. We're going to the theater together. Back in a moment. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope, and good to have you with us again today. Established in 1968, the East Cleveland Theater produces up to 5 plays each season there in East Cleveland. Its executive director, Teresa Tucker, is here, along with board member Tammy Swales, and they're going to talk about the upcoming season and about classes and programs available to the general community, all in East Cleveland Theater. Good to have you with us.
Thank you for inviting us.
You're executive director, and Tammy Swales on the board of the East Cleveland Theater. Give us a little background on the East Cleveland Theater.
Well, it's interesting how East Cleveland Theater was founded. During the transitional period, during the 1960s, the community was very concerned about how to make people closer together, how to help them to work together. So someone came up with the wonderful idea that a good way for people to understand each other, whether or not they were from different backgrounds, different ethnicities, and different economic statuses. So somebody said, let's get them together with the theater. And that provided an opportunity for people to work together, for people to learn about each other, and for people to remain positive about each other.
And do some art along the way.
Yes.
And that's all a good thing. Let's bring Tammy Swales, board member, into the conversation. Tammy, how did you get involved in East Cleveland Theater?
I started by just volunteering. I was volunteered as an usher, and then I became a ticket taker, and then also being pushed by Miss Tucker to get on stage when she found out that I had done some theater in high school and in college.
Oh, you touch my heart when you say theater. I'm always looking for a stage myself.
And we invite you, and the one thing I do like about being a part of the theater is when I did get on the stage, like I said, I did do some in high school and in college, but with the East Cleveland Theater, if you've never been on the stage ever, it's a good way to get on the stage and start. We had people who performed with us last year when we did Showtime at First Baptist, and the lady who had the leading part had never been on the stage before, but you would have never known.
So there's an educational component. You're trying to get people involved in this. Tell me, what do you got going for the upcoming season?
Well, we're going to begin the season with First Baptist at Ivy Gap, which is the first part of Showtime at First Baptist. So we're very excited about that. And Miss Tammy Swales will be a part of that particular production. And then we're going to move on to Camelot. And I encourage young people in the community who would love to be on stage to come and join us for our auditions, because we usually have between 25 and 30 young people who participate in this show.
In Camelot.
In Camelot. It's a Christmas story.
Yeah, it's not the Camelot we often think about.
No, not the Camelot.
Camelot.
Yes. Okay. And there's loads of dancing, singing, and there's some comedic moments there. So I encourage all young people between the ages of 4 and 18 to come out and join us. I can assure you you'll have a wonderful time. And then during the month of Black History, we'll be doing August Wilson's Fences.
Great play.
Yes, it was very successful when we did it 4 years ago, and people have asked us to do it again. And that will be under the leadership of Mr. Freddie Cox, who is our artistic director. And then we're going to move on to A Lesson Before Dying.
Yes,
that's
I know that story.
That's an excellent drama. Yes.
Talk about high drama.
Yes, you'll probably leave there with a few tears in your eyes, but it's an excellent production. And then last of all, we wanted to do a gospel show. Mr. Freddie Cox has written a gospel show that's filled with comedy, music, and lots of excitement. So we encourage you to come. Our season will begin with our first show, First Baptist at Ivy Gap, October 8th, and it will end May 20th.
The curtain is getting ready to go up in a matter of days. Tammy, let's bring you back in. Now, what do you really like about this? Because you get a chance to be on the stage and do some other things as well, and be on the board?
I'm a new member of the board. Actually, I had my first meeting with the board on Wednesday. So I'm a very fresh member of the board. So I'm hoping that, with some fresh energy that, we can be able to bring the East Cleveland Theater and let people know that the East Cleveland Theater is there. When I was out shopping and picking up things for my costume, and people didn't even realize that the East Cleveland Theater existed or was still in existence.
Been there since 1968. Let me give an address: 14108 Euclid Avenue in East Cleveland. 14108 Euclid Avenue. More information on everything we've been talking about, including ticket sales, right? If you can make a phone call to 851-8721, that's 216-851-8721, or you can go to eastclevelandtheater.com, eastclevelandtheater.com, and you can learn everything we've been talking about, get more information. Foundation. This is a wonderful town for a theater, isn't it, Tammy?
Yes. And also, I'd like to bring up that we do have Saturday classes that the East Cleveland Theater offers for young people and adults.
And a mentee program, my notes tell me right here.
Yes, and I want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we've got about 30 seconds now.
It's a program for people who are interested in being playwrights. In fact, one of your staff members is working with our artistic director, and she'll be producing a play there. So it's a wonderful place to bring your show. If you want to get it out there and on stage, think of East Cleveland Theater and give us a call.
I've got a show in production. I've got something I'm writing right now.
Well, give us a call.
You and I will be talking. We will grace the stages and do a little bit of theater.
That sounds terrific.
Okay, as they say in theatrical circles, I think they say that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Teresa Tucker, Tammy Swales from the East Cleveland Theater. Thank you so much for being on the
Thank you for having us.
I'm going to take a break right now. In a moment, we'll talk with Marsha Maccabee, President and CEO of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. But first, these words. Here now is your friend and mine, Marsha Maccabee, President and CEO of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, of which we have a partnership. Channel 5 has a partnership, this broadcast, Kaleidoscope. Hey, Marsha.
We do. Hi, Leon. Hey. Proud partnership, and we're so glad to continue working together. Want to talk today about the fact that our 95th anniversary will be occurring in the year 2012, but we're going to be actually kicking it off at our Equal Opportunity Day luncheon on Friday, November 18th. And so we really just want the public to be aware of it. Mark Morial, our National Urban League President, is going to be our keynote speaker. And so we're very excited. We want the public to know that the tables and the tickets are going quickly. So we want folks to come on in, and if you'd like to be there, we want you to come on and go online or call the Urban League and find out how to get your tickets and your tables. And
as of now, tickets are still available.
Tickets and tables are still available, and opportunities to be a part of the program booklet as well. Ads for the program booklet.
216-622-0999.
You got it.
If memory serves me correct.
Memory serves you correctly.
622-0999, the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.
Yes.
It's always a big event. And you're going to have the national president here.
The national president is going to be there, and he is talking about jobs, 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 how important the jobs agenda is, which is certainly aligned with our president's national theme right now, the president of the United States. And we're going to be looking at doing some things in the state of Ohio aligned around this whole jobs piece, where urban leagues across the state of Ohio are involved. So we're very excited about that.
And for those 90-some years, your organization has been involved with getting people trained. In our last 30 seconds here, getting people trained so they are employable.
That's exactly right. And not just the soft skills, but the technical skills, getting them connected to places that can really enhance their technical skills. And education will continue to be the key to really, education is the leg up out of poverty.
That's the key of everything.
Absolutely.
Many thanks, Marsha. That's going to do it for Kaleidoscope. We'll say so long.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.